Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic / Non-Classic. This is episode number 1373 and Doubleshot number 1267. I got two DC trades, and both of them lead into Future State. Yes, both of them do. Though one of them actually is the end of an era. Okay? First up, it is a book that is a sequel to an event that came out, it was actually concluded just a couple months ago, believe it or not. Yes, 2 months ago. Because the last issue was delayed. What book is this? Dark Knight. Death Metal. The Deluxe Edition. Yep. This contains the entire 7-issue miniseries. Now, like its predecessor, Scott Snyder still writes it and Greg Capullo does the artwork. But here's the thing. That first book, Dark Knight Metal, that was co-written by James Tynion IV. This book doesn't have a hand in it at all, which is like, really? Yes. Also uniquely different from this event over Dark Knight Death Metal is that it doesn't have mini crossovers with it. Nope, it does not. It mostly has one series tying into it, Justice League, and a boatload of one-shots. Yep, that's what the difference with Dark Knight Death Metal. Now, here's the thing. I at least gotta praise Scott Snyder for this. He spent 2 years building up the story as, the sequel to Dark Knight Metal. And the build-up was really good. Featuring the Batman who laughs very prominently over the period of about 2 years. In a prominent role, mostly in the pages of Justice League, and build up this sort of the Year of the Villain stuff, which was really good. Yeah, Year of the Villain led into this. Now, this book has a little more focus on the Trinity of superheroes this time. Unlike the first event, it mostly was a lot of focus on Batman. You gotta have these other heroes. Now, pretty much this whole event takes place in the Dark Multiverse. Yes, the Dark Multiverse. Because the superheroes have been sent there. Of course, here's kind of the thing. The final issue of Scott Snyder's run, Justice League number 39, leads into this very series. Along with Year of the Villain, Hell Arisen. That was typically what the Year of the Villain story was leading to, and that led to this. Just like Odyssey ended, basically this very crossover. Yes, lots of lead-ins. But well-built lead-ins, mind you. Yes. Now, the superhero... Now, you're probably thinking, with look at these clothes, like, wait. Did Scott Snyder pull this out of the 90s with these looks? Like, having, Batman with spikes on his shoulders, or Superman be super muscular. At least one of them looks kind of normal, though it look like she has the head of Big Barda. Well, the top piece of Big Barda. Yep. Also, uniquely for this crossover, the last one, is that... the Dark Knights, Batman Who Laughs, his group of evil Batmen, half of them were killed off during the last event. This one, they don't play a role at all, surprisingly. Yes, they don't do anything at all. We also have Perma Gilliam. She was the character who debuted in the pages of Justice League. She plays a supporting role in this event. Yeah, it's kind of... Also, here's kind of thing, though. About her. She's the mother of the Anti-Monitor and the Monitor. And one other character. Yes, though I at least got appreciated, though, Scott Snyder had Anti-Monitor go back to his gold George Perez look. In my opinion, that was a smart move. I was not really a big fan of the look that Jason Fabok gave him originally in the pages of, Jeff Johns' run for Justice League. I was not really a fan of the look. And I didn't like the fact his real name was Mobius. Because I like the classic version of the character. But at least he run really well. Here, doesn't appear at all. Really? The Anti-Monitor not appearing in an event like this? Yeah, he doesn't appear at all. Nope, he doesn't. Look at some really cool events here. You have a gigantic bat creature. We also have Batman getting his hands on a Black Lantern ring, saying the word rise, and have a bunch of zombies work for him. Yes, a group of zombies. Yes. Also, unlike the main original series, Batman actually appears in pretty much all 7 issues. Because if you read the original miniseries of Dark Knight Metal, he actually skips a couple issues. Here, he's here for all 7. Good job, Scott Snyder. You put your favorite character in pretty much the whole series. Plus, Wonder Woman had a big humongous role to play in this event. Oh yes, definitely. Superman, surprisingly, does not play that big a role in this book. You're thinking, really? Yeah, he doesn't. Not at all. I'm like, really? Yeah, he doesn't. Yeah, for some strange reason, he does not play a role at all. Despite being properly featured in the cover. Yep. Oh yeah, and by the way, is the Batman Who Laughs, like, completely done with in this crossover? Oh yes, he dies in the final issue. I believe he's killed by Wonder Woman. Yes, the Batman Who Laughs is killed by Wonder Woman. And she apparently dies too. Yep. Excuse me. So, there's a lot of resistance basically built up here, while the Justice League and a lot of other superheroes. There's an appearance by the JSA in here. Yes, the JSA are back. Which I am so happy the fact these characters are back. It is so awesome. Though, that yes, they haven't aged up in here. Flash himself plays a role. Yes, the Flash. We also have a character who did not play a role in the original crossover. Lobo! Yes, Lobo is here. And he's basically back to the old classic Lobo. The one all fans love. Yes, and also, like, let me find it here. Like, when they show the JSA in here, it is such a cool moment. Like, to see the return of the JSA prominently. And Jay Garrick out of the Speed Force. Well, that mostly had pages of Flash. Yes, Flash. Let's see if I can find it here. It's a really cool page. Oh, look, here's Perma Gilliam, this smoking hot alien woman. Yeah, surprisingly, despite how beautiful this woman is, I'm surprised Lex didn't try to seduce her. I'm not kidding about that. He never tried to seduce this beautiful woman. Look how great Capullo draws the Flash. It looks really good. I mean, yeah, that proves the fact that, well... Oh, here it is. The JSA. Despite being depicted as older, like pretty much as senior citizens here, but it's great to see them in their classic uniforms. Like, here's Alan Scott, Dr. Fate. I believe this is Kenton Nelson, because I think he took back the mantle of Avengers League Dark. The Jay Garrick Flash, and Wildcat, who's actually pretty thin. Yes, because even when he was older, he at least kept up his muscular physique. Yes. We also have, if you wonder who this is, like, wait, is that Wally? Yes. That was thanks to a mini-series known as Flash Forward. Yes, it was meant to fix what Tom King messed up in the pages of Heroes in Crisis. Written by Scott Lobdell and artwork by Brett Booth. I will eventually review that at some point. It's a very interesting miniseries for what it is. Yes. And I believe it's the first, now not the first time Brett Booth had drawn Wally West, because he drew in Page Titans. As far as I can tell for Scott Lobdell, I think it was the first time he wrote Wally West I can think of. Yeah, first time. Yeah. At the end of this event, we have the apparent death of Wonder Woman. I say apparent death because everyone thinks she died. Yes, everyone thought Wonder Woman died. But never saw a body, so... Oh yeah, with the Batman Who Laughs defeated all his evil Robins, we have the various superheroes celebrating on a brand new headquarters of the Justice League. Yep, like in the case of Dark Knight's Metal. Oh yeah, by the way, they even have appearance by Grant Morrison's Multiversity map. Yeah, great to see the damn thing. Also, let me show off here. The new headquarters of the Justice League. Yep. It's a symbol of the totality. Yes, this space station orbiting the moon. Yes. It's a symbol of totality. And here's the thing. That's uniquely different. We actually have it where the Justice League team up with their villains. Yeah, they team up with the Legion of Doom. And because of the whole... Apparently their multiverse is one of several multiverses. A web of them. And as far as the Omniverse, and it's about the Elseworld, like, that could be interesting. And they also mentioned that their Earth is no longer the center of the multiverse. Yeah, it no longer is. And everyone's quite surprised about that. I gotta say, really good event. Love it. And I will review the rest of the trades that pretty much collect this crossover. Yeah. Well, the other tie-ins, of course. I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Damn good book. One of my friend Tivia's fans of this book. I was disappointed. This book is thick. Look how thick this book is. By the way, this book was like $30. Barnes Noble, yeah, $30. I was so when I saw this book at Barnes Noble, like I had to take it because. An interesting thing though, when I got Dark Knight's Metal, I also got the Deluxe edition for that one too. So I guess I figured, okay, get it for the sequel event. Cool. Yep. And surprisingly, Scott Snyder is not doing these superhero books right now. Yeah, he's not in Justice League. As a matter of fact, he's not in any of the current books right now. No, the only book he's doing now is American Vampire 1976. Yeah, that by far is the book he's working right now. Alright, moving on to a different book by Michael Bendis. It is my friend Tivia's least favorite book. As a matter of fact, he even voted this book one of the worst books of 2020. Legion of Superheroes by Michael Bendis. This is Volume 2, Trial of the Legion. Yes, this is a quite interesting story. Now, things starts off basically with Cosmic Boy talking to the Senate for the United Federation of Planets. Yes. Oh yeah, by the way, the president is R.J. Brandel, who in this version is a woman. Yep. But, I should point out, though, she is still the parent of Chameleon Boy. They still keep that bit, which I do appreciate Bendis doing that. And then when the Legion show up, and of course, well, she meets Superboy for the first time. It's like, I'm a big fan of your father. And, like, she's, why did you join Legion Superheroes? Like, okay, but she's like, wait, this is a Legion business. Yes, and the way Brian Michael Bendis writes Cosmic Boy here, like, oh boy. Well, I kind of get the why Stevia didn't like this book at all. He wrote Cosmic Boy as a whiny brat. Like, he's a big whiner. Like, oh my gosh. It's like, okay. So, basically, it looks, yeah, the way he sees it seems as though that Brainiac 5 is trying to usurp him as the true leader of the Legion of Superheroes. And they're like, and of course, we had a meeting later. Like, why are we having a meeting to discuss the leader? I am the leader of Legion of Superheroes. And it's put by Center Girl. That was the decision that the original three of us made. Her, Cosmic Boy, and Lightning Lad. Which, by the way, Lightning Lad in this book is black, along with his sister. Yeah, I have no idea why Bendis had it where Lightning Lad had to change his skin color, despite the fact being white since the 1950s. Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird, despite the fact it's still written like the same character. Though, there is one thing in here that I do agree with Tivia on this. Senator Girl's romance with John Kent. And yes, it feels very forced. Yeah, that I could agree. That was a really dumb idea. I'm not sure why Bendis thought it a good idea to hook up Saturn Girl with Superboy. Especially since Superboy, if you read this whole book, he has expressed no attraction to Saturn Girl. Yeah, he probably thinks Saturn Girl's hot, but not to the point where he's in love with her. I thought that was kind of weird because here's kind of thing comes to Saturn Girl. She's usually the Brightness love interest for Lightning Lad, not Superboy. Though yes, on Supergirl, she is the wife of Mon-El for some reason. Also, Mon-El apparently calls John Kent Grandpa, despite the fact that originally Mon-El was from the same century as Superman. Yeah, apparently Bendis forgot that little factoid. Yep. And then they have a new leadership, and of course, despite Cosmo Boy does nominate himself, we also have John Kent nominated, and then Ultra Boy. Yes, Ultra Boy gets put his name in the hat for leadership. They basically about to put a vote, so Cosmo Boy just gives up and just basically runs away, gives up being leader. I'm like, really, Bendis? Why the heck would you write Cosmic Boy this way for? Yeah, written like an arrogant prick who's very whiny and paranoid. Like, wow. Completely misrepresenting the character. Oh, and by the way, Ultra Boy is actually elected as the new Legion leader. which is quite interesting because Ultra Boy, as far as I can tell, I've read a lot of Legion comics, he has never been the leader of the Legion of Superheroes. If you're curious though, aside from Cosmic Boy, who has been leader of the Legion of Superheroes? Let's see, off the top of my head, I think it was Bouncy Boy has been leader of the Legion of Superheroes. I think that's been it. Yeah, they if you read the original Silver Age books, they keep changing the leader every few issues. Just because it's a temporary thing for like a month or two, and they switched it up. It was kind of the same thing in the pages of Avengers, but then later on they stopped that for the whole chairman thing. Yeah. And then moments after Ultra Boy is elected leader of the Legion of Superheroes, he asks Brainiac 5, despite our bylaws make since I'm elected leader, this is my term, so immediately he's like, yes. Because the Legion of Superheroes are under attack by Ultra Boy's father. Yes, he shows up and declares the Legion of Superheroes under arrest. And thus started a humongous brawl between the Legion of Superheroes and Ultra Boy's father and his forces. Which results in his father being arrested for, well, attacking the Legion, an actual arm of the United Federation of Planets arm. And of course tried by the Guardians of the Golden Lantern. Oh, in case you're curious still about Rose and Thorn, yes, she's in here too. She does practically nothing in here. She shows up and she just joins the Legion. Superboy himself joins Legion too. Also, apparently, R.J. Brandel had a good idea to change Superboy's name to Superman, despite the fact he's still technically a teenager. Yep. Oh, and here's the thing about these issues. The trial leads issues, like, you probably think, like, damn. Like, for like 4 issues in here, we have more than one artist. There's like 20 artists on one issue alone. These are the artists. And yes, Bendis is the writer for the whole thing in here. And Ryan Snook, who's the cover artist in this trade. And he's also, I believe, also the cover artist for the entire run. And he's one of the interior artists for this. For like, oh my gosh. Here are the artists for you. Ryan Snook, Wade Von Grit, Stephen Byrne, Evan Oxnard, Jeff Lemire. It was interesting, Jeff Lemire, a guy who's a writer. Yeah, he's an artist too. Dustin Nuggan, Julie Jones, Michael Von Deming, Liam Sharp. I met this guy, really nice person. Andre Lema Adrio, Steph Green, Cully Hammer, Yannick Perk. I met this guy too, really cool guy, me person. Dan Hupp, David Mack, Derek Robinson, Dan Jurgens. Met this guy too. No, North Raymond, Bellick Evans, Fabula Moon, Mike Aldred, Alex Blake, met this guy too. John Timms, Mike Grell, yes, Mike Grell. Yeah, he's an artist too, despite the fact he's a writer. He basically originally was an artist for Green Arrow, they became a writer for the book. Duncan Aldred, Dave Arquez, that's a familiar name. Guy who worked with basically one of 2 artists basically he's a freaking collaborator with Bendis. John Timms, Joe Quintus, Ivy Reyes, who actually was his artist for a Superman run. Joe Perito, Nick Darrington, James Herron, John Meehan Jr., Claus Johnson, Nicola Scott, Arthur Adams, Jim Chung, Gary Frank. Yeah, that's a familiar name. He got to work for Jeff Johns, so why not work with Bendis? Not a bad idea. Tula Laurie, Raleigh Rosemiro, Jing Long Yang, yeah, a writer who's an artist too. I never knew he was an artist, but apparently he's an artist. Kevin Newland, Michael Fifth, Jenny Figson, Eduardo Labicchio, and Mitch Gordos. That must be about 20 artists I just listed off there, but damn, that is a lot of artists for 6 issues. Well, it's a big storyline, so yeah, here's the strange thing though. They kept changing artists every like page or 2 in the Trial of Legion issues. Also, they had it where every issue started with this, basically with like a little bit of like character development, like a lot of dialogue for a particular character. This character here, if you look at him closely, that's Wildfire. Yes, that's seriously Wildfire. R.J. Brano got a chance to spotlight here, so does Superboy. Yeah, and this book leads into Future State. Yep, it leads into Future. I think that's the next thing here. But that miniseries is not here. But I'm thinking, really? Yeah, it's actually not in this trade. I would have thought it was, but no. It's actually collected in Future State Superman. Yes, I'm not kidding about that. But this pretty much is the end of Brian Michael Bendis' run for this book. How brief it was. Like, wow. Like, look at this. These two trades are his run for Legion of Superheroes. And you're probably thinking, really? Yeah, really. This is his whole run. But in the case of this trade itself, I'm going to give it roughly a 9 out of 10 because this actually was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But the only thing I didn't like about it was the forced romance. There's a couple things basically are kind of negatives about this book. Even though, yes, a good artist, like the frequent change of artist that I thought was kind of jarring. The writing of Cosmic Boy was terrible. And the forced romance of John Kent and Saturn Girl. Aside from those three things, I found this book pretty enjoyable. I loved it. It was thoroughly good. And here's the shocking thing, though. Out of all the volumes for Legion of Superheroes, not counting the miniseries that was a reprint, that was the original volume for it, this is the shortest run that was an ongoing series for the Legion of Superheroes. This is even shorter than the last run, which was 23 issues. It's even shorter than the previous volume before that. Volume 6, which was 16 issues. This is freaking 12. I mean, if you count the 2-issue miniseries, Lead Series Millennium, and Future States, that's still 16 issues right there, which makes almost tied. But as for a volume, wow. I was kind of surprised the fact this book ended. Unlike the other books, basically, there was no announcement the book ended. Just abruptly ended. Kind of like the way it was, just like Dark, when that abruptly ended. Yep. I know my friend Tibby, he was just not really a big fan of this book because he didn't really get some of the stuff basically in this book. But in my opinion anyways, as someone who's read a lot of Legion Superheroes books, this definitely does feel like a Legion Superheroes book. That's how Bendis writes it. Because there's a lot of characters, and yes, some of the characters got a lot of development. Yes, I'm not really a big fan of some of the changes that he made, like making Langland black, or RJ Brandon the woman. That I thought was quite strange, but she's a shapeshifter, so maybe we can get away with that. And of course, the forced romance of Superboy and Saturn Girl. Yeah, that I could not get behind because that felt very forced, which felt very reminiscent of something that happened just a few years prior in the pages of The Royals by Al Ewing when he had a forced romance of Gorgon and Medusa. Yes, it felt... The scene where they revealed that apparently that Superboy's got feelings for Saturn Girl, it felt like a cheap ripoff of what happened in The Royals. Yes, it felt like a carbon copy. I'm not sure why Bendis thought it would be a good idea to rip off Al Ewing for that particular scene. Yes, that actually happened, believe it or not, in the second to last issue of Royals. It happened issue 11. When they revealed, oh yeah, Gorgon was in love with Medusa all along. And in the very next issue, they had sex. Well, aftermath of sex. Here, you don't see that. Not necessarily. Yeah. Though, one thing I thought was kind of weird about this was the fact that Brainiac 5, a character who's been very prevalent in like every single volume of Legion of Superheroes, here he's not that big of a character. Yeah, he gets very little to do. He mostly is there just to say fascinating or just basically chime in whenever he basically is needed. Yeah, he was by far the weakest. Now, he's not a terribly written character in here. He's okay. I think he's written really well. It just say he's not utilized very well. Maybe Bendis probably saw that Brainiac was used way too much in other books. And at one point he was lead superheroes. I guess he figured though, why not? He probably figured though, not having the smartest person be the leader is not a good idea. Though I should point out though, Brainiac 5 was the inventor of the Legion rings. Yes, he invented the Legion rings. Now, surprisingly, despite the fact the Legion superheroes... Now, here's the strange thing about them. Like, one thing I kind of noticed, though, is that you hardly ever see the outside of Legion headquarters. If you do, it's very rare at best. If you're curious, though, it's shaped like a crashed rocket. Yes, that is simply put what the clubhouse has been like since the 1950s. Though they did actually expand it in the 80s when Jerry Conway took over the book to basically make it a little more like an embassy. Here, you don't see it outside very much. Yes. But could you kind of say Bendis is almost kind of another reboot for the Legion? Yes. Even though that still has all the same characters and very similar backstories. Even though, yes, this is not like the pre-Zero Hour version of Legion of Superheroes. But in my opinion, it feels like Legion of Superheroes. Like, big fight scenes. Yes, there is romance. But yes, even though it wasn't forced like other books were, like this book was forced. Though a lot of the romances in here are very natural and well written. Though I kind of think that, oh yeah, and also, we also have John Kent reuniting with the man who killed Krypton. Well, destroyed Krypton. Yep, he reunites with him. Somehow he's still alive after 1,000 years. Yes, it's not actually explained of how the heck he's still alive. I thought this guy was executed in the page of Supergirl, but nope, he's still alive. He was just in prison for 1,000 years. And does John Kent, kill him for basically destroying his ancestral home? No. No, he doesn't. He does nothing to him at all. He just basically chastises him and then leaves. I think he punches him once, but that's it for him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's almost like basically a wasted opportunity. Yeah, John Kent didn't have emotional attachment to Krypton at all. It was more of his father and his cousin. His second cousin, mind you, Supergirl. They have more attachment to Krypton than he did. He never actually set foot on Krypton. Well, not the original, mind you. Yep. Oh yeah, he did mention though that he was technically the person responsible for, well, the creation of the United Federation of Planets. Yep, he was technically responsible for it in the pages of Superman for the House of M storyline. That was a cross between Superman and Supergirl. Yep, he was technically responsible for this stuff, so I guess why not? Yep. But yeah, that's a particular view, and that's probably going to be it for videos because I have no idea what's playing. I was initially going to plan to watch Justice League tonight, but I had to do some outside lawn work tonight, so no time to watch it tonight. I probably won't get a chance to watch it tomorrow. Excuse me. I may not get a chance to watch until, well, definitely not tomorrow. Maybe possibly either Wednesday or Thursday. It's more definite that Friday, basically, we get a chance to watch the Zack Snyder Cut for Justice League. Yeah. But until this next video, bye.